Hello, this is Strategy Miscellany here with episode 4 of Children of a Dead Earth. I put the music back in the background because I think it should be quiet enough now that you can actually hear me over it. And so let's get started here with the Liberation of Ceres. So basically, the USTA took Ceres over from us. We're sending a counterstrike in, but we're outnumbered. We have a support carrier with some beam drones and some Stinger drones, as well as some cannons and railguns. And we have a missile schooner with some cannons, but mostly the Flag and Striker missiles. So again, this will be a missile and drone type mission mostly. Facing us, they have an escort carrier. Let's see, we have a support carrier, they have an escort carrier. They're similar but carry slightly different drones, basically. They have a laser frigate, which is especially good at shooting down incoming missiles. And they have a couple of orbital defense craft with a few missiles, but mostly with conventional cannon armament. So their main threat is really, well, the drone swarm and the laser frigate. And let us begin.
Incoming transmission.
Alright, they request our surrender. We refuse. You can see we're in an outer orbit, they're in an inner orbit. The first thing I'm going to do is get our orbits a little closer together. I'm going to send the whole fleet inwards a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit there. And then they've got a wave of drones and a wave of missiles coming at us. So what I'm going to do is launch a counter wave. So we're going to go in here and we're going to take from the missile schooner we're going to launch 5 nuclear missiles that are going to target their flak missile squadron. Really all we should have to do is get close to them, detonate, and the flak missiles are pretty lightly put together. They should be disabled by the nuclear blast. Select our 5 striker missiles here and start burning inwards heavily towards them. Alright, let's start by just going a few minutes forward, seeing what it looks like. And I can do a flyby, get right up next to them. That should work perfectly. Okay, their missiles dodged us there. Let's do another flyby. Now the good news is if we make them spend Delta V like this, we might just run them out of Delta V before they even get there. Or at least we'll make them less maneuverable when they do get to our ships. So we might be able to just do a pull with our ships in a little bit here too. It is frustrating to constantly do these kind of intercepts and re-intercepts, but it is just part of the game. Let me see if I can mess with this a little bit first myself here before we do any official intercepts.
Incoming transmission.
Alright, so our missiles have intercepted theirs. We've got them on homing. Not quite sure what this is, why we're 600 kilometers out and they're moving away. We're going to ignore that one. Okay, some sort of glitch happened there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have our fleet do a dodge maneuver. Get out of the way of these missiles. And get us in a better position to launch some more towards the enemy too. So we're going to actually pull up a little bit out of plane. And do a slight radial burn also. And a slight tangential burn. We're going to kind of go in all three directions to confuse the enemy. Yeah, this should get us a little off the trajectory of those guys. Do something a little bit more significant here if we want to get out of their way. Let's go over here. And as you can see, we've successfully dodged the missiles. Now what I'm going to do is launch another attack at their drones. Another 5 striker missiles. Select them here. Put in a trajectory. And we just need to get there a little faster than our home ship so that we can get there first. Yeah, what about a flyby right there? Alright, we're going to fly by in 9 seconds, so I'm going to give you a bright lights warning, because right when we get there, I'm going to manually detonate all these nukes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and... Alright, that did not do much. I think we got all shot down by the drones. That's okay. Now, let's take this capital fleet. Still has a lot of Delta V in it. And let's get it on a more rational orbit. And also hopefully get it out of the way of these drones. Yeah, we'll start by doing this here. Do a plane change so we're in the same plane as the enemy ships. And you can see we dodged their drones too. So now let's get back into a regular orbit. Now this looks like a good time to launch a wave of our own at the enemy. So let's get going. I'm going to send 30 flak missiles and 30 nuclear missiles. So a wave of 60 missiles coming at them. Yeah, this should work quite well. Surprised they're not trying to dodge this one, but I'm okay with that. Alright, here we go. So now let's target their laser frigate. That's our primary target. We'll go ahead and target their drone launchers on their escort carrier, and target some of the big cannons on their orbital defense craft. And then the other thing we're going to do is, just like usual, group the units by 5, put a halt order on several of the Striker nuclear missiles. It's odd that they're making that noise. Alright, so let's go. Waves of 10. First off, all the flak missiles burn straight for the enemy. The flak missiles I want to get ahead so that they'll be what's getting shot down by their lasers. So that the Striker missiles can kind of sneak in behind them in waves. And hopefully the flak missiles will do some damage on their own, although there's a bit of a bug with flaks sometimes. Sometimes they just don't work as well as you'd hope. However, they did a little bit of damage. That's better than nothing. Now we've got our Strikers coming in. A lot of them getting shot down ahead of time. But you group them all together. Okay, that didn't go so well. They were all shot down. Maybe a drone strike will do a better job. First off, though, I'd like the capital fleet to actually enter a normal orbit. Yeah, something like this. That looks good. Whoa. Letting them kind of catch up a little bit here. Oh, their drone fleet ran itself out of Delta V. Looks like their flak missiles might be trying to do another impact on us. Alright, but here is a perfect time to do a drone strike across the bow on them. So let's go to our support carrier. We got 10 beam drones. Let's go ahead and use them all. 25 Stinger drones. What the heck, they'll work best in numbers. Let's use them all. And just to kind of provide covering fire, let's launch 20 flak missiles, stick them into. Now, this drone missile fleet, this should have a good shot at doing some significant damage to them. And I want it to intercept them, ideally on a pretty slow trajectory. so that the drones have a lot of time on target to do their damage. Whoa, not the missile fleet. Oops. Cancel that. Alright, that is 4 days away, but we have 24 days to complete the mission, so that's okay. Alright, here we go. This is a good one because we're all basically straight in with them. I'm going to group all the units, and I'm going to have the drones be like the flak missiles and be homing for a little bit so they get closer faster. And then once we get a little closer, we will open fire with the drones. Once we get to about maybe 30 clicks out or so. You can see the flak missiles are doing their jobs, distracting the enemy quite well. So now would be a perfect time to orient broadside, and ignore range on your weapons. And there we go. There's our wall of fire coming forwards before they have a chance to counter with anything. They are still firing, it's just that the game stops rendering them when there's too many on the screen at once. As you can see, the game's having a little trouble keeping up with everything going on at once right now. There go the impacts. I just paused so that I can get a better look at what's going on here. Let's see what it looks like from the perspective of our laser frigate. They haven't really been damaged yet. Oh, that looks cool, though. But there's some fire that's going to hit them real soon, and a lot of the other ships are already getting hit. So, let's unpause. Alright, our beamcrafter's starting to have a shot. Took out their escort carrier. Great. I think we just took out something else. Yeah, all they've got left is their orbital defense craft. And our drones should still be firing on kind of a second pass here. So we might even take them out too. Oh, they're running themselves out of Delta V, as you can see. It's all a bit of a blur. I think we're trying to kind of come sweeping around and do a second pass on them. Let me take a look here. Yeah, they're still moving away. I think we're trying to burn towards them again. And we are sending some good kind of parting shots their way. The only question is if we'll have enough ability to do something with it. Alright, we've done some damage to their defense craft. You can see our lasers, I think, are still blinking at them, but from such a range that they're not really doing all that much anymore. Alright, so all we should really need to take these guys out is one last wave of missiles. 20 nuclear, 20 flak. They don't really have anything that can shoot these down anymore, so this should work pretty well. Yeah, let's do a flyby on the capital fleet there. That looks great. Oh, apparently our drones are coming in for a second pass. See if they can do anything. We don't have many drones left. Unlikely. But they got one cannon. Go ahead and blast it on beam drone. Thing is, these beam drones, they can only afford to have a little tiny missile on them, so... Or not missile. Little teeny laser. And it got shot up when it got close. That's okay. Alright, now our missile strike. So the good news is they shouldn't have all that much to shoot these down. I am still going to do the strikers in waves. There go the defense craft towards us. We'll go ahead and arm the other strikers. Alright, and bright lights flashing warning for the next 30 seconds or so. Here come the flaks. The flaks did a good job. There go the nukes. Alright, looks like they have one left in working order, although it's not in very good working order. Looks like it doesn't have any engines left. It's got some cannons, that's about it. So what I'm going to do is mop up with the capital ships. First off, let's do a strike on the missiles fleet here. I gotta admit, I'm not doing this mission fast. I could be much faster about this. Alright, there's their flak missiles. All ships, orient broadside. Target their combustion rockets. We'll launch blast launchers when the time comes. Go ahead and turn off the range limitations on these cannons. And go ahead and launch 5 flak missiles at their flak missiles. Alright, once they get closer... we're doing a pretty good job, though. But once they get close in, if they get too close, we'll start firing decoys. So far, though, it looks like the sheer massive fire of our vehicles is enough to take them out. And now, the last enemy unit, one orbital defense craft. Oh, that's actually one of our flak missiles. Let me get the capital fleet. Yeah, do a flyby right there. We'll be going fast, but all we should need is a few parting shots to take these guys out. Go ahead and target their smaller cannons and their smaller radiators, and let's go. Alright, we're firing as we're flying by. The railgun shots are coming in at them. Cannon shots are coming in, but slower. Although, because of our fast crossing vector, the cannon shots should actually be faster than they normally would be. All we really need is 1 or 2 lucky shots on these guys. There we go.
Transmission.
Ceres is ours. The liberation of Ceres is complete. And all our capital ships are unscathed. We had no damage to our actual ships. Did take us 17 days, so we only get the silver. And we're now allowed to start doing ship designs, although only out of base modules, not out of our own modules that we design ourselves. So, let's go on to the next mission. Alright, this is another Delta V puzzle. The captain who we rescued from her mutineered ship is orbiting Themis. We've got to take her off that asteroid and back to Mars from a Liberty Exchange shipyard at Themis. Liberty Exchange appears to be basically the Bitcoin guys, but in the future. So they start us off with these belt trawlers. Now that's an option, but their acceleration is so low that it would make this mission difficult to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a large methane tanker. It's got good acceleration. It's still got 21 clicks at Delta V. Should be good.
Incoming transmission.
Well, I didn't leave myself enough Delta V to actually connect with Mars, so I failed this one. I'm going to try restarting with the same ship. I would like to try it with this relatively small amount of Delta V. I'll design my own ship that has its own large capacity for Delta V if I can't get this to work this way. First, let's get into a crossing orbit here. Interesting. Okay, with this, we're right near them, and I should be able to match orbits more easily. Let's start with this. You can see us coming in. Now, right at the critical point, time for us to decelerate. Carefully, though. That's pretty good. Now that our relative velocities are not so different, I'm going to reset the frame of reference to Mars and see if we can't get this to work. Ah, that looks good. Now let's get a little closer. See what this looks like from the Sol frame of reference. Yeah, we and the Martian orbit are quite similar. That's good. That means this is working. Getting close. I think we're even coming in the right direction, too. Yeah, now that... Whoa. That looks good. That looks like we're getting aligned with Mars, and we still have 10 clicks left for the actual capture maneuver. Alright, let's zoom in, actually see the red planet, and let's get our orbit aligned with that of the cargo station a little better. And then get ourselves in a little bit closer. Well, let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, that works. So, 1 day, 17 hours, we'll be there. No, I was coming around the wrong direction, but that's okay. Alright, so we needed to do it with a little bit less delta V and a little bit faster if we wanted to get an award for it. But we did still get through. And we have rescued the daughter of the senator from that outlying asteroid, taking her home to Mars. The next mission is another surgical strike type thing, where the enemy has a gunship. You've got to disable it without destroying it. Just like in the earlier mission with the Space Mutiny. Basically, in this case, we have a lieutenant commander on the ship, Nathan Shiping. He's interested in defecting and has secret intelligence about what they're doing. Now, this is an interesting one because it's almost a tiny little planetary system. You got Sylvia here, which is actually pretty big, 384 kilometer diameter. Still very small gravity. And then you got Romulus and Remus, and those are both tiny, 18 and 14 kilometers. And those are both moons of the bigger asteroid. And you've got to basically go from one to the other because your ship is orbiting one, their ship is orbiting the other. The gravity in this is extremely small, but the asteroids can kind of get in the way of an intercept. And they give you as their baseline craft a corvette and a laser frigate. A laser frigate is quite good for this mission, I would say, because the lasers are good at disabling weapon mounts and things. The corvette has sniper coil guns. That also looks good. I'll try it with the stock craft, and if I can't get it to work, I'll build my own fleet. So, let's go. Now, after I get through Vesta Overkill, I will demonstrate a lot about ship design that I haven't demonstrated yet, because at that point you can do your own modules too. So everything is unlocked for you. Alright, so let's get off of Romulus first. Not that hard to get off of Romulus. And let's go forward 10 minutes. And let's set the frame of reference to Sylvia, the big asteroid in the middle. Now, let's go catch up to our enemy. Don't really need to do anything subtle in this case, just kind of head over there. I would like to engage them more quickly than that. But the problem is I might crash into Romulus if I do that right away. So let's do the first burn, go for about an hour or so, and now a new trajectory. Right into the face of the enemy. Actually, this looks pretty good. Now, when we get closer, I just have to make sure that we're not on the opposite side of the little asteroid from them. Because it's very funny. The AI is not smart enough to know there's an asteroid there, so the enemy ship will just charge directly at you and then crash into the asteroid and destroy itself. And that would be okay if our mission was to destroy the ship, but we've got to take this guy alive, so we can't let their captain kamikaze his ship directly into an asteroid. Because they've apparently forgotten that it's there or something. So, let me get in close and make sure that the asteroid won't be in the way. I don't think it will be. I think we'll just be coming over top of it. Yeah, that should work, actually. Yeah, you can see they're kind of peeking over the top. Well, I think this will be okay. If it's not, it'll be really funny. And we'll do this again. Go ahead and do a homing burn first. Don't want to wait 16 minutes out here. Now, my sniper coil guns are actually ready to fire. So I'm going to have my Corvette Orient broadside. And I'm going to start targeting the weapons on their gunship. And the big radiators. Okay, I'm going to try and actually be a little fancy with this. I'm going to order my ships to move directly. Normally, I never do this because it doesn't work very well. But I'm going to order my ships to both move directly straight up to make sure that the asteroid isn't in the way of us. Both my ships are going to burn straight up and away. This is a very clunky system, but I really only need it to do a little bit of this, and we should be clearly out of the path of this asteroid. And once that's done, we can go back towards orienting bro.
Incoming transmission.
Oh! They just crashed right into the asteroid. Typical. So, I'll probably keep that in because it was pretty funny. And we'll restart the mission. You can see you really don't need that much delta V to move about in this system. It's quite a small little place. Like a kind of a Little Prince version of a planetary system in a way. Are we off on the third plane somehow? Yeah. Okay, this will get us here real fast, 37 minutes. Let's see how this looks. Okay, this time we got a clear shot at them. They got a clear shot at us. Orient all vessels broadside. Engage the sniper coil guns. Go ahead and engage the auto-fire rail guns too. And before too long, we'll engage the laser turrets too. And we'll target all their weapons. not their radiators. Where do they put the crew in a gunship again? I think it's way up at the front. I'm going to go ahead and have my laser frigate start firing its laser turrets. This is our laser frigate. Let me look at how the gunship is doing. Hasn't really lost much yet. Alright, now what I need to do is switch to homing so we can actually close with them a little bit. Because right now, we're at sort of a weird crossing vector. We're firing at each other from extreme range. I need to get a little closer so that the railguns, or not the railguns, the lasers can do their work. Now, once we've done a little more damage, I'm going to play it safe by turning off our stronger railguns, because, again, I don't want to damage the crew compartments. I just want to basically plink at the exterior of the vessel. Until I've disabled it. Yeah, I've taken out all their scatter railguns. That's great. All their laser turret mounts. Let's try and take out their engines. Yeah, this is going well. Basically just have the sniper and the heavy coil guns left, and then the flak missiles. We are still moving away from them. Ooh, 100 kilometers. That's quite a distance. I think we might have to get a second intercept to get this to work. Oh. On the second intercept, I think I can just come in with the lasers and really sweep them out. So let's stop ignoring range here. And let's cancel homing. And let's go back. And now what we want to do is kind of sweep around and do another pass at them. We got plenty of Delta V, we should be able to do that. Yeah, like that. Beautiful. So we'll curve out for 15 minutes. And are we on the wrong side of the asteroid relative to them? No, not really. I do want to adjust this in the third dimension, though. Lower our perpendicular, you know. There we go. And time for another pass on these guys. And this is an interesting picture. Why are there two asteroids? Oh, that's the little one and that's the big one. I see. Alright. All ships, orient broadside. I'm actually going to disable the auto-fire railguns. Just use the sniper, coil gun, and the violet lasers. And let's tell the violet lasers to ignore range. Oh, I did already. We must be orienting, so we can get a good bead on them. Okay, let's re-enable these. I'm not sure why we're not getting any firepower. Well, the laser frigate, they seem overheated, but this one I'm not understanding why you're not firing. If I have you rotate. Is the asteroid in the way? I hope not. Alright, all ships halt. All ships move due north. Did something glitch with the way this is going? Okay, it's because of my crossing vector. It is having me cross right into the asteroid. Uh-oh. Hopefully we can kind of go around this. All ships halt. Wait for them to peek out behind the other side of the asteroid. Must be very dramatic for the people on the surface. Yeah, see, now we got a shot at him again. Fire. There we go. Alright, we got a good hit on him. We got him spinning. This ought to do it. All these guys got left are there. No? All their missile launchers are disabled. They've lost power generation. What's left? One nuclear rocket, I guess? That's all? You guys can stop rolling. There we go. We did it. Great success. And we got a silver. Not quite sure why exactly. I guess because they kept all our capital ships alive. None of them were unscathed, and the enemy, we tore up the ship pretty bad. But we got the intel. We can move on to the next mission. Next time is Vesta Overkill. There's a very aggressive enemy fleet around Vesta. They've got a fleet carrier. They've got a silo ship of their own. They've got a corvette. They've got a cutter. So initially, I was going to continue from there and do the Vesta Overkill mission also, but I realized how long this was getting, and also the first few times I tried the mission, I failed miserably, and had to spend some time in the ship design and really think about what I was doing. So I'll tell you all about that next episode. But for now, this is the end of episode 4, and we will get to the Battle for Vesta next time. Thank you very much for watching.